Bitcoin broke another record. It's doubled in price in the past month alone.
There will be other currencies like it that may be even better.
The main currency you've probably heard about is Bitcoin. Its value exploded from around $1,000 at the beginning of the year to $9,000 by November to nearly $20,000 by December.
Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place. And, of course, for large transactions, currency can get pretty inconvenient.
2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Rick Falkvenia does an excellent analysis. He predicts that Bitcoin will capture between 1 and 10% of the global Forex market, which implies a price of between $100,000 to $1 million per Bitcoin.
What's up, crypto junkies? It's Jay hanging out in the studio. I got the crypto junkie traditional hoodie vibe going on right now. It's the weekend, so I'm kind of chilling out, going slow, trying to go slow anyway. Stay hydrated with the coconut. I wanted to shoot a follow-up to the remember the sovereignty hack video that I shot? A lot of people loved that video. Eye-opener for a lot of people because they're not thinking from the micro and the macro, which is, it's hard, right? The forest for the trees, you hear that saying all the time. But overall, I'd say that it's quite hard to keep your eye on both because we get sucked into the micro, the day-to-day, the job, the here's where I'm at right now, what do I need for tomorrow? This, you know, you're thinking like as far as the weekend. You're not thinking like what's the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years looking like. It gets really easy to get sucked into, like I said, the game of the day-to-day, right, versus the overall big macro scenario. A couple things that I wanted to echo and reaffirm for you is, let's just say for a second, and I don't like to think this way, but I think it's really crazy not to think, at least to play around with this, is if hyperinflation happens, if something happens to the US dollar, if we get a one world currency, if they try and make some pivot into a digital currency, Fed coin, we've heard these rumors now tossed around through all the crypto news sites and a lot of the big publications, a lot of mainstream media too is picking up on it. But we've got some big things happening this year. We've got the IMF, International Monetary Fund, right? That is meeting at the end of this year towards October in Jakarta, which is a big deal. They usually only meet in Washington, D.C. I think this is the second time only ever that they're meeting outside the United States. Hint, hint, gonna drop a little breadcrumb for you there. You can follow that rabbit hole if you choose to. But overall, we have to be prepared for a few things. Okay, so I'm talking to my US residents at this point. In Europe, you've got your big exchanges too, but if something were to happen and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars overnight, a hyperinflation of Venezuela situation happens, 5,000% hyperinflation almost overnight occurs, where's everyone gonna go? They're gonna go into precious metals and they're going to go into crypto. They're going to go into digital currencies, okay? So let's talk through a few scenarios here. Billions and billions of dollars get dropped into BTC through your typical exchanges. What's going to start to happen? Well, the government, capital controls, they're going to try and shut down and lock down the entry and exit point in and out of crypto, which most people won't be exiting out of crypto through your Coinbases, your GDAX, your Geminis, your Bitfinexes, right? But they will be trying to throttle depositing. What you can expect is Coinbase is in the pocket of the NSA. I'm sorry if that hurts you, if that hurts your feelings, you don't want to believe that, you can't believe that. It's time to open your eyes a little bit. I do not trust Coinbase at all. Just look at the amount of money that's dumped into them. Look at some of the people that are coming on as CTO, CFO, so on and so forth. They're big players in this space. Coinbase is the Facebook of crypto, whereas Facebook is, you know, the social media kingpin. Coinbase, they're positioning and propping it up purposefully. The people behind it do not have good intentions. They do not care about you or your sovereignty. That's how it is, okay? If you just have your Coinbase account, your GDAX account, your Gemini account, do you think that's smart? No. It's not. I'll answer that for you. Get set up in another country. Get set up with another option. Some of this stuff is still extremely easy to set up. Now, granted, you can't pull out tens of thousands of dollars per day on these exit exchanges in these other countries, but you can pull out enough to survive. You can pull out enough to pay for your daily food, your daily whatever you would need. Okay, so those are options that you should be already looking into if you haven't already. Now, this might be somewhere in Europe, this might be somewhere in Asia, but a lot of these restrictions, a lot of these rules aren't as tight in terms of the information that you have to submit, KYCs, etc., as it is in the United States. So right off the bat, you should be having a backup and a double backup exit exchange set up for yourself and your cryptocurrency. But also too, like, follow that through to conclusion, okay, now billions of dollars dropped into the market right now. Everyone would be starting with BTC, but immediately BTC, let's face it, it'd be throttled down. We saw a sampling of this back in December, 240,000 transactions backlogged on the blockchain with BTC, and that's when we were just dancing around 20,000. Hyperinflation happens, we would easily go to 100,000. Would it be able to handle it? No. So then where do people go? Oh, ETH, duh. Oh, then ETH backs up. Because I hate to say it, but I think they all have the same problem. I think if you dropped 20 million people on every single main top 10 coin, they'd all have the same throttling issues. I'm sorry, but I'm not buying it. And we can bench test this and we can see, but then there's real world. I think all of them have just about the same problems. Maybe some of them are a little bit better than others. That is splitting hairs, I think, at this point. What we can expect is that it'll go down the ladder. Literally, you could probably follow CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko.com, and it would be like, okay, Bitcoin is bogged down, then ETH, then this, then Litecoin, then Bitcoin Cash, then this, and it's like the top 10 would then all go to the moon. Then the top 20 would all go to the moon if the hyperinflation continued. And this is just simple logic that's leading me to this. I hope you're watching and you're agreeing, and maybe it's sparking some ideas, but that's like probably the prime scenario we can expect. Where it would stop, who knows? Would it get to top 20? Would it get to top 50? I don't know. But we could expect that the whole cryptocurrency market would see a pump that like we've never experienced before. And if we just compare back to the $20,000 BTC pump, when we were dancing around there, all the altcoins were going along with it. And there was, you know, because a lot of them are tethered to Bitcoin to a degree. We saw this massive pump and it was happening on a weekly basis. BTC would run again. Maybe this week all the alts wouldn't run with it, but next week it would. Wow, it was crazy, right? And we've seen similar to this in the past. So that's what I'm pulling from to kind of pull some of these assumptions and extrapolate some of these potentials, right? But the other thing that you got to look at and think about is that gold would go to the moon too. Who knows where crypto would go? I think crypto would probably moon more than gold would, but crypto wouldn't be able to be used necessarily for like day-to-day transactions, go and get my bread, going to get my whatever, my lunch. Gold would be, because you would take a big gold bar and you would basically chop it up. You'd cut it all apart and just use those as your transaction, and we'd go off of weight, you know? So if you think about like how would a street vendor tell if it's real gold, like you can do the bite test, they would have scales and weights all right there. So again, I'm trying to jump into the future a little bit and put that hat on. Even though I don't like it, I can't deny these things. I can't hide from these things. I think that's extremely dangerous to do and really not a good move to protect you and your family. You got to think through all scenarios if you really want to protect your family. This is one of them. So the gold would be the daily transacting thing, which is why I'm accumulating as much gold as I can now while it's cheap. Numismatics, I'm big on those too. I know a lot of people hate or don't believe in numismatics. It's a longer term play, but everything would go up in a hyperinflated market, and especially if it took over globally, artwork, any collectibles would go up in value. That's what I feel and think anyways. I might be wrong on that component, but I know that I'm like spot on with gold, silver, maybe even some other metals into the cryptocurrency. I just wanted to chat with you really quick. I hope this video has been valuable for you. Make a plan. That's what it all boils down to, right? Like some of this might have triggered you, and I hope that you can kind of set that aside or explore that on your own time instead of thrashing in the comments, but this stuff is getting more and more of a reality. We've got a $1.6 trillion college debt. We've got a $16 trillion national debt. Where are the trillions of dollars going? Nobody knows. Black Op programs, space programs, who knows? Who the f cares? The debt's real, and we are all now paying for it, okay? All the taxpayers of America pay for that. They pay for those bad choices, the lack of accountability, all of that the U.S. taxpayers end up paying, and it's not the rich that pay for it. You and I both know that. So how you fight back and how you shore yourself up to be protected no matter what occurs, buy your precious metals, buy your crypto, have a fund off to the side. It's your own backup fund. Have your precious metals that you don't touch, have your crypto that you don't touch, and then be in the market, be here right now day trading if you want to, be here investing in new ICOs if you want to, so on and so forth. Makes sense, my friends? Much love out to you and yours. We'll see you in another training video very soon. But
if you like what we're doing on the channel, take a second, hit the subscribe button, click the bell notification.
This just in.
Crypto Junkies is now over 1,000
over
people.
2,500
We now have
people.
over 3,000 people. 4,600 have crossed over 5,000 1,000 people in our Discord chat community.